So today, I want to talk to you about the time that I tried to make a secure Bastion host and how many different ways I managed to break a server in doing so, because there were many. So first of all, what do I mean by a Bastion host? So if you deploy your servers to a private subnet, then you probably use a Bastion host to allow access to the servers from untrusted networks. And because it's open to the untrusted networks, then it has to be secure. And by secure, I mean that people like these ideally can't get into the Bastion. And if they do get into the Bastion, I don't want them to be able to do anything. I want to lock it down as much as possible. So a quick thing about how we make the AMIs, because we use AMIs, we start with a regular Ubuntu AMI, we do a bunch of stuff, and we make a golden image. If we want to update, we make a new image. We don't do any configuration once it's deployed. A little bit of technical context, because some of the problems were directly related to what we use. We use these things. Your mileage may vary if you don't use some of these things. So in the spirit of how hard can this be, I started looking at what comes with Ubuntu. Ubuntu minimal server, 2,000 packages, most of which I'd never heard of, and I thought I knew something about Ubuntu. So I spent a long time looking at this, and the more I looked at it, the more worried I got. And I definitely thought, there's some of these things that I don't want to be on my Bastion. I definitely don't want nano. I definitely don't want wget. Some of the things, maybe I want to take them off too, after it's deployed, maybe apt, that kind of thing. It turns out that because Ubuntu label all their packages with either important, required, or optional, extra, I could just take up all the ones that say optional and extra, right? Because they're just optional and extra. No, this really didn't work. And interestingly, every time it broke in a different way. So that was a lot of fun deploys. Some of these things are very useful, and also optional extras. So I looked at it more carefully. I made a list of, OK, I don't want people to have access to these things. Can I take all of these things off? These aren't things that I want anyone to be able to use in a Bastion. It's just for SSHing through. Lots of experiments later. Some of them I can, some of them I can't. A bunch of stuff is needed for some of the tools we use, Consul, shuttle, Ansible, AWS. I couldn't take off the right-hand side as much as I tried. I was sad about that. I thought, OK, what if I just restrict what users can do? I don't really want them to do anything except SSH tunnel through this box. So can I change the logon shells, use rbash, restrict commands, take away sudo? No. We use shuttle, and that ruled out 3 of these 4. But I was able to remove sudo from everybody so that even if anyone was able to get into the box, hopefully they wouldn't be able to rearrange anything that would make it favorable for them. If you remove sudo, make sure you ship your logs. Because otherwise you will have no idea why it broke. Because you don't have sudo, right? You can't read your own logs. You can't look at anything. It's so secure that you can't investigate your own system. But if your logs go elsewhere, that's fine. And after, I can't tell you how many iterations, I made a UMI. I was very happy about that. It was a very, very iterative process. Yeah, lots and lots of experiments, really experiments. And after that, to make it a bit more secure, install fail to ban. So you get 3 goes at logging in. If you didn't manage to log in successfully, you don't even get to try to log in for, I think, 15 minutes. So that takes it down a little bit more. Also, 2-factor auth. We use 2-factor auth for things that are way less important than this, so we definitely want 2-factor auth on the Bastion. We use Google Authenticator. That all works really well. I talked too fast. And the last thing, we have port knocking, which is a fantastic thing that we have a whole set of, yeah, we're hoping to open source and talk about some of this, blog posts and that kind of thing coming. So I can't talk about it yet, but this is definitely worth investigating. And at the end of that, we have a Bastion, a safe, secure Bastion. It's been in production, I think, 6 months. We've deployed it to almost all our teams. It's been surprisingly little problem after deployment. So yeah, all those experiments, they must have worked. OK, thanks for listening. Thank you very much. Okay.